What's up, my people? Welcome back to Kiwami Games. And here I have a little spicy deck for you. We are combining vampires with Spright. And the synergy is definitely there. So very quickly, let's go over our monsters. We have our two familiars. Familiar is going to be our monster searcher. Maxi, you know what Maxi does. This is the MVP right here, Retainer. When he is special summoned, we can search for our Omni-Negate trap card. Also, since Retainer is a level 2, if we have him on the field, then all of our Spright monsters can special summon themselves, as they all require a level 2 monster. So we have our Spright Blue, which is our Spright Searcher. 3 Jets, as this is our Spright Spell Searcher. 2 Spright Red, as this is our Monster Negate. 1 Carrot, as this is a Spell and Trap Negate. 2 Ghost Ogre, as this is pop on the field from the hand. You know, Ash Blossom, what that does already. Ghost Ogre, you know what that does. Ghost Bell, you know what that does too. Vampire Ghost, this is going to be our Vampire combo starter. You always normal summon him and send a Vampire monster from your hand to the graveyard to start the whole Vampire combo. Vampire Sorcerer, when he is banished from the graveyard, he allows us to normal summon any of these high level vampire monsters without having to tribute summon. Also, when he is destroyed on the field, you can search for a vampire card. So pretty good card. Vampire Duke, when he is special summoned, he can declare a monster spell or trap, and your opponent has to send one of those monsters from the deck to the graveyard. And the reason why this is good in combination with Grace, she does the same thing, is that these 2 cards with Kingdom on the field, when your opponent sends a monster from their deck to the graveyard, Kingdom activates, and when Kingdom activates, you can pop 1 card on the field. So it's a good pop, you know, just to get rid of any back rows that our opponent may have. Harpy's Feather Duster to remove back row. Ultimate Slayer was really fun to use in this event, as everyone is always using XYZ in this event. So this card can pretty much bounce back an XYZ monster. And then we use these monsters as target. This is our Omni Negate, you know, Imperm is the negate. This right here is to boost the attacks of all of our level 2 monsters. Spright Starter to search, Call by the Grave. Vampire Domain to regain our life points when we do damage. Also, by paying 500 life points, we can normal summon another vampire. So we can sort of summon 2 vampires in 1 turn. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Dampier was clutch also. He can send monsters from the field to the graveyard, and then he can also resurrect monsters. Mannequin Cat was also very clutch as well. This card works great, especially when our opponent is using a lot of dark monsters or zombie monsters, as we can target a face-up monster that our opponent controls, and we can special summon 1 monster with the same type of attribute. So I use Mannequin Cat a lot to special summon either Vampire Duke, so that I can pop a card on the field, or to special summon Retainer, so that I can search for the Vampire Trap card. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It was a really fun deck. This was just for the festival, but in my next video, I'm going to take this deck into the rank lobbies. I'm currently in Platinum rank, so I think it's a great lobby to play test to see if it's really worth playing with Spright, and to see if it can even get us to like Diamond from Platinum. So if you would like to see more of that, please subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitch, and yeah, let's get into the gameplays. Thank you all right, hello everybody, welcome back. So our first game, we are going to go up against Numerons. So they made us go first because, you know, the point of Numeron is to try to OTK us on their turn. But it's all good. So we activate blue to search for another jet so that we can search for our Spright starters. Then we're going to go into Gigantic Spright. And then Gigantic Spright is going to allow us to search for our Vampire Retainer. And then Retainer is going to allow us to search for our Vampire Trap card, which is our Omni Negate. Then activate Starter, we're going to add Carrot, and then Carrot is going to be a Spell Negate. Alright, and then since he activated Lightning Storm, we're going to activate Carrot to negate Lightning Storm. Then he's going to activate Forbidden Droplet, but we have our Vampire Trap card to negate it. Alright, so far we didn't have a terrible opening hand. I think this was a pretty good, pretty decent opening hand. And then of course he Lava Golems us. He opens with his field spell, so we're going to Ghost Ogre the field spell just to prevent him from XYZ summoning into his Numeron monsters. So we do that, and then of course he has the second Lava Golem, but it's all good. So now we can go into our regular vampire combo, starting with Ghost. So we're going to normal summon Ghost, send Duke to the graveyard. Then we're going to add Grace, and we're going to send Familiar to the graveyard. Activate Retainer, summon him to to add our vampire domain. Then we activate domain. We're going to burn for 500 so we can get an additional summon. So with Familiar, we're going to search for Voivode, and since we activated our vampire domain, we can get a second summon, and we do that. So we smack him, and then we regain our life points, and we smack him again and get our life points, and then we pass turn. So now we're okay. We have hand trap negate, and we have a infinite impermanence negate. So with this, Voivode is amazing. Voivode is going to negate that. And then he passes turn, goes back to us, and we draw into Familiar. So from here, we're just going to normal summon Familiar and attack for game. That's pretty much it. But this was a pretty intense game, pretty nice game. I mean, we had to survive 2 Lava Golems, but yeah, peace to the Numeron player. Alright, let's check our game number 2. What's up people? Welcome back. So we are game number 2, and this time we are going up against Sharks. So we open up first. We have Spright Blue, but we don't activate Spright Blue because you actually want to special summon Spright Blue so that you can search for your Spright monster. So we go into our opening vampire combo instead, and now we add. Now that we have Retainer, we can special summon Blue to add Jet. Special summon Jet so we can search for our Spright starter. Then we're going to go into Gigantic Spright, and then Gigantic Spright is going to allow us to special summon another level 2 monster, and in this case we go for Carrot just so that we can have Spell and Trap negate. So we got Spell, Trap negate, we have Omni negate. He's going to try to Harpy us, so we activate Carrot. Alright, then he goes into his Buzzle Shark, and then I try to negate it just because I don't want him to get extra bodies on the field. But he still has an answer to it, so he activates his White Mirror. He can summon back his Shark, and then he can add another Shark, and now he can go into his XYZ. And he goes into the Stealth Kraken. So the Stealth Kraken is going to pop a water monster on my field. So he pops Gigantic Spright, and he attacks into my Ghost Ogre. But we have Ultimate Slayer. This card has been very clutch. During the XYZ festival, this card has been rather clutch. So we send just any random card to the graveyard, and we can get rid of his XYZ monster, so we can go into our Spright combo again. So one more time, we search for Jet, activate Jet. We're gonna get our Gamma Burst. Then from here, we're going to go into our Gigantic Spright, and we are going to search for Retainer, and then Retainer is going to search for the Trap card again, just to have protection. And we activate Spright Starter. We're going to get red, and he gives up. So yeah, I think the synergy between vampires and Spright is actually not that bad. I think Vampire Retainer really has a chance to shine here. You know, I think Vampire Retainer has become a really great card now that we mix it with Spright. But yeah, let's go check out the next gameplay. Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome back for game number 3. And this time we are going to go up against Exosisters, if I remember correctly. So this is sort of a brick hand, so I just said familiar and pass. And yep, we have Exosisters. So I Ash Blossom that just to prevent them from starting any combos. Right, but of course, maybe that was a bad Ash Blossom. I guess yeah, maybe that was a bad Ash Blossom. Since they were just still able to normal summon and special summon. So yeah, maybe that was a big misplay on my part. But anyway, he tries to banish my familiar, so I activate Ogre so I can destroy his monster. You know. But now at least he cannot attack me and he doesn't have any monster on the field. So now we have our starter, which is Retainer. Retainer, we can special summon red, and then we're going to go into our gigantic Spright. And then he's going to have Solemn Strike. But we have Duke, so we can send Duke to activate Retainer. And he's going to have Forbidden Chalice. So he was able to stop us, and we were able to stop him as well. So this was a pretty good game. I like this game. Was a pretty interesting and intense game. So we just smack him for 1600 and we pass turn. And from here on out, I think this kind of shows the integrity of our decks, because from now it turns into who's going to brick the most. So, you know, he had another Solemn Strike to prevent me from doing anything with Jet, so I can just smack him for 1200 and pass turn. So now our decks are being put to the test to see who can draw something. So it's great. I drew something amazing, which is our Omni Negate. So now I just set and pass. Now at least I have an interruption and a protection. Let's see what he gets. So he gets one of his Exosisters. He's going to activate Returnia. I am going to negate Returnia. So that's going to put a stop in his plans for a little bit. We drew Maxi, and Maxi is all that we needed. And we smack him for 500 per game with Maxi. You gotta love it, man. So this goes to show about the deck. If we get interrupted, I feel the deck can recuperate very quickly, as we were able to summon some cards that were really necessary. I mean, we can also argue we did get a little lucky, but it was a good game. I mean, we both interrupted each other, and we both put a good duel. I like this duel. Respect to Tootsie. But let's move on to the next gameplay. Alright, we're back with game number 4. And this time, this is against Blue Eyes. And we are going second this time. He's going to activate his Bingo Machine Go, so search for his cards. And I guess he kind of bricked. He didn't get what he needed. We have a pretty decent hand. So we have Retainer as our starter. We're going to activate our Vampire's Domain so that we can normal summon 2 monsters at the same time. And we're going to go into our Mannequin Cat. And we are going to attack. And the reason why I went into the Mannequin Cat is because I knew he had the egg. I knew he had this. So I can resurrect it, and then I can add a light monster. And then I can use Retainer from the graveyard and search for my Omni Negate. And the reason why I also resurrected the egg, the stone, is because I didn't want him to get a Blue Eyes, because I know he can banish it from the graveyard to get a Blue Eyes. So with Mannequin Cat, we also go into Zeus. So now we have Zeus, and we have our Omni Negate, and Ghost Ogre can actually activate from the field as well. So Ghost Ogre doesn't need to be from the hand. So that's another reason why I searched for Ghost Ogre. Sorry. Alright, we send our fields, our Vampire's Domain, so we can add Fraulein. So Fraulein is going to activate and join us on the field. And then he has another White Stone. So we smack him with Zeus. Then from here we're going to send Ghost to the graveyard so that we can add Void to our hand. And then we pass turn. So he's going to get his Blue Eyes, but we have Maxi. We can draw, I think we draw 2 here. He activates both stones to get 2 Blue Eyes on the field. So we draw 1, we get Spright Starter. And we draw 2 for Spright Jet. And then I don't want him to search for any Chaos, because he might have Chaos Max Dragon in his hand, and if he gets Chaos Max Dragon on the field, that could kind of cripple us, as that monster is really difficult to get rid of. But yeah, so he gets rid of our Ogre. Then we activate Zeus. So now we have a 4 material Zeus. He's gonna vanish. He's going to boost up his Blue Eye so I don't attack over it. Alright, we go in Duke. Then we go into our Void. We're going to take away his monsters, add them to our field. And the reason why I did this, I want to make a Dampier so that I can get rid of the Blue Eyes. Since it's at 4,000 attack, I don't have anything that can do over 4,000 attack, so I go into Dampier to try to get rid of it. But of course he has the ultimate creature to protect him. So there goes my plan. Alright, so we negate. And then the reason why, now I know I have Fraulein on the field, and I could definitely boost up Fraulein to attack over the Blue Eyes by paying some life points. But the reason why I didn't do it is because of his trap card. It says, well, it cannot be destroyed by battle. Also, any opponent's monster battles is destroyed at the end of the damage step. So if I would have attacked the Blue Eyes would have not died in battle, and instead my monster would have been killed instead. So that's why I didn't attack. Which, you know, it cost us our Zeus, but you know, it's all good. I'd much rather have Void on the field than Zeus. And then he doesn't have much of a follow-up as well, so we're okay. And we get our Vampire Trap. Now this time he doesn't have any protection, so this time I can get rid of his Blue Eyes. And then we can attack the game. So, yep. But that's a good game. That was another fun game. Big ups to the Blue Eyes. You know, I always respect when people play Blue Eyes and Dark Magician. You know, I'm a little Yugi boomer, so I grew up with Dark Magician and Blue Eyes. So it's always fun to play against them and see them. But anyways, now the next games I won't talk over it. So just please enjoy the following gameplays. Thank you all.